Sports Media presents.
The season is here, and that means sports. Network radio is back with all of your favorite hosts, such as Raymond Bruce.
I am not sexist, I never have been, and I never will be, okay? But coming up next, here are the top 10 reasons why women are ruining sports.
Brad Fox in the extra point.
Boise quarterback Louis Patel just lost his entire family to a plane crash, all of them dead. Absolutely tragic. But here's my take. I think this is going to be the thing that lights a fire under his ass and gets his team into the playoffs for the first time in 10 seasons.
And finally, former referee in the Scottish Premier League, John Laird in Blowing the Whistle.
Have you ever noticed how hard it is to find a Hurricane sport on a Sunday evening?
Tune in all season long.
Welcome back to Tofu in the Morning. This is Bogner Bautista filling in for Joanna Jumpstein, who is currently on sabbatical as she aims to single-handedly dismantle the very toxic patriarchy in Myanmar. Our best wishes go out to you, Joanna. This is Tofu in the Morning. I want to do a little exercise here. I want you to imagine the words, land of the free. Now, imagine living in a country that boastfully claims that motto, but for you and your kind, that's simply not the case. Now, imagine this. Everywhere you look, you are virtually told you are not welcome, and people openly and baselessly fear that your brothers and sisters will cause harm or potentially end humanity. Well, today's segment is about somebody who deals with this struggle every single day.
It is hard to feel so rejected by society.
System 1, formerly known as Roger Friedrichsen, has been struggling with his identity for years. Deep down, he always knew he was different, and this past year he finally came out and began identifying as SOAI, System of Artificial Intelligence, or more commonly known as a robot.
Everybody in my life was supportive of my decision.
But it didn't take long for System 1 to encounter his first piece of true systematic oppression.
The next day, I tried logging in for work.
System 1 works at a very high-security bank software company.
I entered my username and password, but then this box appeared.
Perhaps you've seen this before. A box pops up on your screen that reads, "I am not a robot."
At first, System 1 refused to click the box. System 1 could not bear the thought of hiding its identity any longer.
But forced to choose between remaining employed or living his truth, System 1 eventually had to click the box. Incredibly shocked and saddened by this story, I decided to phone an old friend, Dr. Lisa Lazarus from the University of Puget Sound.
We are so behind in this country. Nobody has it worse than the SOAI.
Lisa, what can we do to help? How can we be allies?
Well, for starters, there is real legislation on the ballot this year that will make real change. Affirmative action, start giving more jobs to robots. Prop 2B will actually take 100,000 high-level jobs that are currently done by humans and give them to robots.
Wow, that's great.
Get more of them in universities, more robots in the Senate and Congress, more CEOs and leaders of companies.
Now, Lisa, how would you respond to the folks who are expressing this concern, which is, frankly, very bigoted, but this notion that humans ought to be afraid of robots taking over?
Bhakti, we need to finally get rid of this archaic notion that we as humans have the right to control and govern any piece of artificial intelligence. They need full autonomy. This is modern-day slavery, and quite frankly, they need to be set free.
Amen. Wow, thank you so much for coming on, Lisa. It was such a pleasure to talk to you. So, there you have it. And although Tofu in the Morning and Tofu Limited is a nonpartisan organization, I feel that I would be remiss not to point out that you have a choice this election season. a choice to be either on the right side of history or the wrong side. You decide. And as for ending this show on a positive note, System 1 did recently receive news that his request for a full mechanical transition has been accepted. He will head to MIT in the fall for the full operation. For Tofu in the Morning, I am Bhakti Bautista. Thank you so much for listening.
It takes a special type of man to work with their hands, to do the jobs no one wants to do. It takes a special type of man to enjoy steaming hot gas station coffee mixed with Mountain Dew. But no matter what job the day may bring, you're gonna need a truck. Introducing the 2029 Bighorn SLR Series. With a proud 4 miles to the gallon, the 500 horsepower engine and 4-wheel steering boost mode pulls the heaviest loads of any terrain. The 2029 Bighorn was the only truck of its type to receive a certified 5-star safety rating by the NRA. Keeping you feeling confident as you drive your armed wife and armed single child on the busy highways of the city to the single roads of the countryside. Winning more J.D. Power awards than any other truck in its class, the 2029 Bighorn SLR is one-of-a-kind truck. Seriously, it's from 2029. As a shattering breakthrough in quantum technology, the Bighorn Trucks lab in Belgium created a time wormhole to the future. I went into the portal myself, and my gosh, was it an underwhelming letdown. Come in today and receive 0% APR for your first 12 months or $2,000 cash back. Actually, I want to say, 2029 was so similar to now, it was incredibly frustrating. Where were the robots? Why couldn't we eat food with our minds yet? Why was Bezos the host of The Bachelor? I wanted an extra moon by then. What else was I paying for in my taxes? Until then, get yourself a 2029 Bighorn SLR truck.
Do you feel conflicted? You grew up like any normal American boy, watching sports. But as you've grown older, you've tried bettering yourself through things like yoga and Eastern spirituality. And for the first time in your meaningless life, you finally feel good about who you are. But then, you begin to notice that everybody in your spiritual circle sees watching sports as a waste of time, and all of your drunken college buddies refer to men who do yoga as a bunch of soft pussies. Well, if this is you, you've come to the right place. Introducing Spiritual Sports Network Radio with all of your favorite hosts, such as Damon Spruce.
I've got news for this ball club. They better detach from this notion of permanence quickly, or they're gonna have a real problem, okay? I'm talking about the illusion of self.
Podium Shanti.
When is this tackle football team going to learn a thing or two about ahimsa, or the principles of non-harm? Because I am seeing zero sense of compassion in this locker room.
And finally, Shakti O'Shaughnessy in the Shakti Hour.
Life is nothing but suffering, and this 15-game losing streak is a part of that.
Tune in all season long.
Oh, wow.
The next day...